Hello and welcome back. This is episode 29. Yeah, because I ended up making it 28 yesterday. Even though I said I was going to make it a 27 and a half. It ended up being 28 regardless. Anyway, today we are going to be looking for a pale garden. I need to turn my render distance back up because I was working with the other dog to get some thumbnails for our video coming up tomorrow, and I was lagging like crazy because we were in a creative world for uh, screenshots, and we were spawning in like crazy amounts of mobs. And so basically, why is my resource pack keeps? Just look how beautiful that. Like, just look at it. Stare directly into the sun. Directly. Uh, I'm having too much fun with the zoom feature. Okay, we're gonna go to sleep first. All right. Also, I sound more awake. That's because I'm tricking you. Uh, so I didn't sleep much last night. It's like I think 3 or 4 hours in the last 3 days total. Not 3 or 4 hours each day, but 3 or 4 hours total over the last 3 days. Um, I just have caffeine now, which is great because caffeine is definitely a substitute for pillager tower. Caffeine is definitely a substitute for good old-fashioned sleep. Okay. Ugh, excuse me. There's no second chest. That sucks. I don't really feel like fighting any of them. But yeah, so we're heading for a pale garden today, and I just punched my microphone. That's really fun. I'm gonna have to cut that out in editing. Editing. Uh, I figured I'd go this direction because I haven't really gone this direction at all. As you could see by going, like 20 feet and finding a villager tower that I had no idea existed. Because since this world was created in 1.21.3, there was. It's dirt. I thought there was a like weird looking uh mine shaft that was made out of like spruce wood or something for some weird reason. It's kind of a cool cave. Anyway, back to flying. But no, since this world was uploaded or created in 1.21.3, it means that in order to find a pale garden, I have to load new chunks, which is fun. It's a lot better than my first well, I had a lot of legit survival worlds, but before COVID, I never really like committed to a survival world. The furthest I ever got in legit survival was defeating the Ender Dragon. Um, and that was like I rarely got there because I was just like, oh, I'll just build a little house. I hated survival because I built in creative so often, and I was just like, building in survival is just like you can't build good in survival. And then COVID came along and everybody on YouTube started making mega bases, and I was like, okay, never mind, you can build good in survival. I'm just being lazy. And then I've said, I think, I don't know if I've said on camera, but I've definitely said it before. I didn't actually really get into like long play Minecraft. I think that's a good enough term for it. That's not what I want to do. Long play Minecraft until COVID, when I decided to get all of the achievements. Um, cause I just like getting, cause it was on Xbox, so it was getting all the achievements, which is a lot. It's a lot easier to handle on console edition because on Java edition, every time you start a new world, you start at ground zero with your advancements. Whereas like Xbox, PlayStation, all that, if you've previously gotten achievements, they stay on there. So like going into completing all the achievements, I already had like not a whole lot of them, but probably like I don't know, maybe 12-15% of them. So it cut a little bit out of it out, just the busy work ones. Uh, and then also on console edition, you don't have the ones like uh, there's some that you have that are harder than Java edition, and then there's others that are like the hardest ones on Java edition, like how did we get here, which I've gotten all the advancements in Java edition before except that one because I don't care about it. Uh, it's just too much work for me, and it's like sometimes you got to be okay with the 99% complete. Um, and that's kind of where I was at. I was just like, I have every single achievement that I or advancement that I care about having. I could spend another like gazillion hours trying to get this last achievement that I don't have, which is a ridiculous. It's literally called "How Did We Get Here?" because the way that it was intended for you to discover it was to be like, huh, I wonder what happens if you have every single effect applied at the same time. And like the setup for How Did We Get Here is kind of ridiculous. Like you have to bring a shulker into the overworld, which in order to do is a very complex sequence of I'm lagging and just infinitely flying. Uh but no. In order for you to do is basically just constant like so you have to cover I think a decent chunk of the main end island. So first you have to put a shulker in a boat. Then you have to put him through an end gateway, unless you want to go the thousands of blocks back to the original end island. Then, sounds like if you give a mouse a cookie. Uh, then you have to break it out of the boat, but you have to cover every possible place it could teleport to when you break the boat, so that it actually goes through the end portal. And then when it goes through the end portal, it's gonna end up at the world spawn. And then you have to move it from the world spawn to a deep dark so that you can get the darkness effect. And then you need to get a dolphin down there so you can get Dolphin's Grace. And then you also now need to have a village down or a villager down there so that you can start a raid, which is a little bit easier now that you can just have an ominous bottle. But then you also need to be close enough to a trial chamber to start uh trial omen. But then you also need to have just regular bad omen or yeah, bad omen instead of raid omen. So you need to have raid omen, trial omen, and bad omen. And then you also need to have um forgetting like all the effects you need to have, but Oh, you also need to have mining fatigue, which means you need to have a guardian temple close enough that you can fly in between it, or bring an elder guardian there, which is a pain. And then to make your life easier, you also are gonna bring. You probably want 6 beacons, so you can at least have the most effects out of a beacon that you need. But you at least need 1 beacon because you can't make a potion of haste, and you need haste. So you have to have a beacon with haste on it at bare minimum. And then you also need blindness, which you can only get from. I don't remember how. It's a pufferfish, maybe? I think it's a pufferfish. So you need a pufferfish, and then you need to make all the individual potions, which you. Most people wait to get Furious Cocktail until How Did We Get Here? Because you're going to have all the potion effects applied as well as every other effect applied. So you have to make all the different potions, apply those, and then make sure you get it all done within X amount of time. Oh, and then you also need to have the Wither effect applied, which most people use a Wither Rose for, because otherwise you need, like, to get a Wither skeleton to the overworld and then have him hit you. But if you're using the Wither Rose, it only applies a Wither effect for, like, a second after you step out of the Wither Rose. So it's just like this horrible, horrible. You also need a conduit. And it's just like this awful setup, and I don't see the point in it. And so I've never got the advancement. That was a really long conversation about why I don't get the How Did We Get Here advancement. Anyway, as I was saying, I started off like serious Minecraft playing by getting all the achievements on Xbox. And in that world, um, it's, I think the first update I played on it was either the aquatic update or the village and pillage update. And I played it all the way till the caves and cliffs update. And it's not that I wanted to stop playing it, it's because the world got corrupted. Um it was at 1.5 gigabytes. It was a huge world. Uh and like every time a new update came out, you have to load new chunks to get the thing, like the stuff from that update. So when I wanted to go explore, well, the Nether update was kind of not as bad because I didn't use the Nether a terrible amount. I just used it for little short travel. Um so but you have to load new chunks in the Nether, and then when Caves and Cliffs came out, I had to fly like thousands of blocks away to find, because my actual base was already like 2,000 blocks from world spawn. So, like, I was already kind of far, not super far away if you have Elytra, but like I was already kind of far away. And really trying to find a pale garden here. Uh and so like I don't even really know what they look like. I'm kind of just, I know what the creaking looks like. And I'm just kind of basing what I'm looking for off of that. But yeah. Anyway, um oh man, I thought that was a mangrove forest. I don't know why. But yeah, so you had to fly thousands of blocks away anytime a new update came out. Um I think it was the Village and Pillage update that I played on. I also never got into villager trading until the Village and Pillage update, because that's when I started watching Hermitcraft in season 6, and realized how useful villagers are. because previously they were like, oh, we've they had a villager trading hall, but when I was watching how like much work went into the old villager trading halls, it looked like a pain because you couldn't recycle traits. You had to literally just like you just had to breed new villagers basically. So it was just you bred a bunch of villagers and then you went through and found which ones you wanted. So I never really did that. But when the Village and Pillage update came out, I was like, oh, villagers are really nice to have. Moral of the story. uh, where is a pale garden? That's not the moral of the story, but I would really like to find one. Uh, oh, you're kidding me. There's a jungle this close. This is way closer than I never ate melons, and I want to eat melons for the balanced diet. You're dead. Um, that's really annoying, actually. I'm gonna take a screenshot of those cords. So if I had just gone the other way, I would have found a jungle way sooner. That's great. I am going to cut. Well, first I'm gonna do some research to see what parameters the Pale Gardens need, and then I'm gonna just cut until I find one or something interesting happens. So, see you in a bit. Okay. Welcome back. Haven't gone too far. Um, but I thought a cave. I saw this cave, and I thought I saw a deep dark in it. So I went down for 10 minutes. I think I've been in there. And most of it was honestly just trying to get out. Got some diamonds and lapis. That's pretty much it. A little bit of redstone. um, I think we've gone 7,500 blocks. I was at one point at negative 8,000. So I think going that way is only gonna get us further from home. I don't want to fly straight back home though. So I think what I'm gonna do is go that way, because then I'm still in the negative negative. I like to explore. Take that out of the way. I like to explore my world in quadrants, so that when updates come out, I have an idea of where I've been. So I'm thinking we go that way. And well, F1 looks weird. Uh, when I'm not doing screenshots. Uh, 10 out of 10 flight capabilities. All right. But no, I'm thinking we go this way, and then it will be. I did do some research. It says near birch forest or jungles. Which I did a little bit of a fly around that jungle and didn't find one. Uh, but I figure if I go negative this way, which there's birch forest right here, which is kind of great. The chunks are taking forever to load in. Granted, I'm 7,500 blocks away, so it's got to load in. Sorry, the birch leaves just looked darker to me for some reason. Um, but anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So then we stay in the negative negative section or quadrant. Okay, well this is a dark oak forest. Kind of the opposite of a pale garden. I would really like it to load in. This is going so well. Well, it's not really lagging. It's just loading chunks, which I have very little patience for. Anyway, I guess I'm gonna just fly along. Ooh, icy peaks. Completely unrelated to what I was saying. I'm gonna fly along this edge because I don't think it's going to be in the snowy area. Um, excuse me. I... Where the heck is... So there's more birch forest. It says it spawns typically on the border of birch forests or jungles. So I feel like I should stay around this birch forest. Hello. Okay, well, found it, guys. What is this? This pale moss block. I really like the look of this. I am before I deal with this, I'm gonna take out a shulker box and empty out my inventory. Also, I completely forgot I don't have fire aspect on this sword. I was gonna get more steak from those cows, which I don't remember if I was recording during that or if that was after I made the cut. Anyway, oh, I'm also gonna take out my axe. May I axe you a question? Anyway, um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I. This is a really weird and inconvenient place for this to be. Oh, I love the aesthetic of this though. Uh, sorry, I thought I heard something. I love the aesthetic of this. Like, this is a lot of people are like, oh, they're just dark oak trees. One, no, they're not. This stuff is amazing. I don't know what it's called. Pale hanging moss. That stuff, that's gonna be so helpful for like haunted mansion builds and stuff. So is this wood. Hello. Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, my FOV is wider than normal. I think that's why it's not like fully registering that I am looking at him. I want to see how much damage this guy does. So if I hit him, because I know he's indestructible. I read up on that bit. There it is. Uh, that's how you get resin. Interesting. Okay. He's gonna keep hitting me if I'm. Am I out of his range? Nope. Okay. Because I want multiple of these. Because I know you need Silk Touch to get this. I know more about the creaking than the Pale Garden, if that makes sense. Also, I still have Safari up, which is really not helpful because I can't see my recording screen. I also would like to, I don't know, can you get... I would love to get Pale Oak saplings. I don't know if that's possible or not. I also don't know if multiple creakings can spawn in one Pale Garden. Because like I said, I want to know what happens when you don't use Silk Touch on it. But in order to do that, I need to Another creaking heart. Which, by the way, every time I hear say creaking heart, um, it makes me think of the Edgar Allan Poe uh story where it's like it's the beating of the old man's heart, and the guy goes crazy because he killed the dude, and then he hid his body under the floor, and he's getting investigated by the police, and he keeps hearing this beating sound, which is actually probably just his own heart, like from the anxiety of knowing he killed a man and trying to pass it off. And then he just like it slowly drives him mad because it's like literally pounding in his ears, and he's like, they must be able to hear it because in his mind, this isn't his heart he's hearing like in his ears. This is the old man's heart that just died or was just killed, and the police can hear it too. I thought that skeleton was a creaking at first because as soon as I like turned my screen in its general direction, it just paused. Uh, but no, okay, a decent amount of pale oak. Okay, so pale oak sapling. I'm guessing this is like dark oak, where you need 4 saplings to grow a tree. Just because they look like dark oak. Basing this off of, I want some of those as well. I don't know what these are. Open eye blossom. It's a really cool name for a flower. That is. Oh, okay. I was like, huh? This water's like throwing me off. I don't know why. This border of the dark oak forest. I don't know if this is how they normally spawn. Like I said, I read very little of that. This definitely. I guess it is near a birch forest. Um, but yeah, so I read very little of that information. Um, so I don't know if it normally spawns on the edge of a dark oak forest. But if it doesn't, this is a really cool spawn because you have like the negative. It feels like a negative realm. And it's just this really cool border that I really like the aesthetic of. 9 resin clumps and a couple of pale oak logs. I currently. Okay. Well, we're gonna fly home then. This is the right direction. Okay. We're gonna fly home. I'll craft it at home. I'm gonna cut in just a second to until I get home, and then or if something else interesting happens. I doubt it will. Um, and I will see you guys at home, and then we'll end up at the episode by me seeing what happens when you break it without Silk Touch. So I will see you guys in a bit. That is a weird angle. Oh, we have returned. Let's see if I can land on my base without making an absolute fool of myself. Well, I landed on my base. I think I made an absolute fool of myself with that landing because I just crashed into a wall. Anyway, we're back. I think I'm gonna clip right where I sneezed. See if I can scare one of my viewers again because that was funny. That was a loud sneeze too. That hurt my back. Um. Anyway, we're back. Uh. I don't have enough resin clumps to actually do that, so maybe we'll start off the next episode by doing it. Anyways, let's go to bed first. Next episode, I don't know what we're gonna do. That's not till Thursday though, and because tomorrow's episode is WDM Wednesdays, which I am actually really excited for you guys to see. Ooh, Red's taking some damage. I'm gonna heal him up. But anyway, I'm really excited for you guys to see because I think it came out really well. I feel really bad whenever I watch my multiplayer videos because, and this is completely unintentional, guys. Um, like I'm just so much more energetic and I sound like I'm enjoying it way more than these episodes, which isn't the case at all. Like I absolutely love this world. I love how my base has turned out so far, especially the fact that like it's very not me. Like this whole base has just been one new thing after another. Um, I would say the part that is like maybe arguably a little bit me is like from here to here-ish. The first two floors are kind of me. I wouldn't even say they're like fully my building style. They're like reminiscent of my building style. Oh, I was gonna get carrots so I can start using golden carrots for a food source. So while I do this, I'm gonna close out the episode. But anyway, um, it's what was I saying? What was I saying? Uh, but no, like I absolutely love this world, guys, and I love these videos. It's just like it's a lot easier to commentate when there's someone to actually talk to. Uh, like there's been a couple times which luckily my older videos when I would do raw footage, a majority of it wasn't long enough for me to just go dead silent, completely forgetting I'm recording. Uh, but since I remember the 50-minute long episode in the end, that had some poor dialogue bits uh, where like I had just cut out because I had been playing for so long that I kind of just was like couldn't think of anything to say. Uh, and so like sometimes that happens. Luckily since I start like can edit now, any most of the times that happens, I can just cut it out. But anyway, um, hi, can I help you? But no, anyway, yeah, so next episode we're going to start off by I'm gonna do some farming of resin, get another creaking heart just to see what happens when you break it without silk touch, because that seems very vital. Is it just like, yep, it is. Okay. I'm not gonna do that right now because I want to save the resin clumps until I can. But yeah, anyway, um, I didn't get a thumbnail. Oh well, I can do that off camera. Uh, I am going to. I'm gonna get all this stuff organized off camera. Uh, but yeah, so I will get all that done, do some farming off camera to get some more resin clumps, and still not sure what to do in the next episode, but I will see you then. And I hope you have a good one, and hope you enjoyed, and this outro is failing epically. Bye!